welcome to What the Fuck Sutter 28? 28? 28, wow. Winding down, what's going on? 10 just aired. We're doing my Twitter fan appreciation thing this weekend. On Saturday night, we're going to do a private screening for them of episode 11. And then where am I at? 12 is done. We're in the mix on that. Locked picture for the finale part 1, and just today signed off on the picture for the finale part 2. So we're getting close. And today actually, I think I just tweeted this, that we got confirmation all the deals have been done, and that we will be releasing the Sons of Anarchy soundtrack in a few weeks, I think, a couple weeks, called Songs of Anarchy. And what it is, we decided rather than putting in songs that you'd be able to get other places, through other artists' venues, that we really were just going to sort of keep it to the original covers that we do on the show. So it's pretty much, not all, but a lot of the original covers that we've done since season 1. So hopefully folks will dig that. Here's our question. Kurt, first of all, this comes from Larry Crosby. Kurt, first of all, thanks for your show. There's a big SOA is a big hit with us military guys, and it really helped me pass the time when I was in Afghanistan. My question is this: do you plan on bringing back and giving us the rest of the story about why Lowell Sr. was killed and buried with the Mayans? Larry, we did that storyline which I loved in season 1. With Keir O'Donnell, who played Lowell Jr., and we saw the dynamic, and we got a little bit of the history through Gemma and Clay about potentially what had happened with Lowell Sr., his dad. And I will say this, that we get some more information about Lowell Sr. The end of this season, and you'll see that. And as far as playing out that storyline, I don't know. There was I think in season 2 we had a storyline that involved Lowell Jr. and Keir had was on a movie, and we couldn't bring him in for the episodes that we needed, so we had to let that storyline go. But I'm always open to that. I think it would be interesting to continue to see again some of that dynamic where the dynamic with the of the father sort of plays out through the sons as we do on the show. One more question. Let's see. Here's something we've touched on. I'm not sure if I've answered this, but I'll address it again. Hi Kurt, this is from Jennifer James, who is my favorite porn star, by the way. Hi Kurt, I only started watching SOA this season, so I don't know if this issue has been addressed in previous seasons. I am confused about the race issue regarding Juice. His last name is Ortiz, so he is of some Latin extraction. Why is he allowed to be part of the club? Your blog post a couple of months ago addressed the black and white thing, but not Latinos, blah blah blah. Thanks, and here is to hoping that Clay gets his soon. Jennifer. Again, there's been some grumblings by some fans and critics this season because we sort of jumped into this dynamic that exists in the MC community, which I always found fascinating, which is that these clubs have every other race and creed involved in their clubs, except African Americans, and I knew that it was sort of a holdover from the 40s, the 50s, that ultimately became ingrained in the fabric of these clubs, and it's sort of an unspoken rule. And I just thought it was fascinating that there were Latino members and Asian members and Jewish members, and yet there was this distinction that there were no African Americans in the club. And yes, over the past 3 seasons, I've not done a big story arc or have espoused, you know, a lot of narrative or exposition on that storyline, but in my mind it was always there because it was always there, meaning that you never saw any African American members in the club. You saw every other denomination, but no black guys, and you know, that there are black clubs, and that they, you know, that they socialize and probably are not racists, and our guys are not racists, but there is an inherent racist dynamic in the fabric of the club, and you know, we address that as these episodes unveil, and we'll continue to address it in episodes. So I don't want to spoil anything, but you know, you do have Chibs, you know, basically saying, yes, it's part of the club, and you can't sort of take a step back and go pick and choose which of these dynamics and these inherent rules that you want to follow, because once you start doing that, potentially the whole thing unravels and falls apart. And that was sort of the idea of it, and I believe, you know, because I know a lot of these guys, and I spend you know, a significant amount of time with them, and it is a part of their dynamic. It is a rule in the club, and yet, you know, I go to social events with these guys, and there are, you know, members of black clubs, and they all have good friends and socialize with African American dudes, and yet it's just sort of accepted, and really by both sides. You know, there's not like the guys that I know who are in clubs who are black, like, you know, at least on the surface, or to me, you know, there's no sense of animosity or them feeling somehow segregated from the MC life. It's just sort of this unwritten rule and this dynamic. And I just thought that was a fascinating racial component to sort of shine a light on and play with this season. And we did it through the character of Juice. So that was the intent, and I think, quite honestly, my opinion is that for a lot of the fans, the reason they bumped on it wasn't so much of the logic of it, it was the emotional impact of it. It's almost like you know, they have such a connection to the members of this club that in a lot of ways, you know, it's okay if you're dealing guns and cheating on your wives and girlfriends and muling drugs, but please don't let them be a racist, you know. So and I just, you know, the irony of that is kind of fucked up, but fascinating. So that's how we were playing it out. So that was the intent of that. And as I said, we'll continue to play out that storyline with with Juice, and continue to speak a little bit to that issue. So so that's the deal. We're winding down. I'll probably keep doing these for a few more weeks until the premiere, and hopefully you guys will keep on watching. Great turnout for episode 410. We're back up a couple ticks, and hopefully that'll continue. This week, episode 11 is 90 minutes, and it's you know, it just all continues to unravel, and I feel really good about the finale, both parts 1 and 2. I think it'll be a satisfying 2 hours of TV for everybody. So hope you enjoy. See you next week.